Yeah, and welcome to another video. I'm Brett Papa, and today is all about revisiting the Dirty Shirley, which is, God, Friedman Dirty Shirley, if you don't know, is such a freaking awesome amp. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe, click the bell, and actually, like and share the video if you are into it. That would be awesome. But I had a Shirley a long time ago. Loved the amp, right? Amazing. But this was back when I didn't have my universal audio auxes, which if you like loud tube heads and are in an area where you just can't have one, now you can't. Get an aux. It's so worth it. I don't even use a pedal board anymore. People ask me, how'd you get that tone? I'm like, well, I just plug straight into the amp. Now, the cool thing about the aux is it allows you to really crank your amps, where I never was able to do that when I had the Shirley before. I always had it on the master volume on all the Friedman amps are freaking fantastic. I mean, they really, really are good. So they sound freaking great at a low volume. So total disclaimer there, they're amazing anyways with the master volume. But that being said, when I borrowed this amp from XTS, and they're never getting it back. They were building me a pedal board and they had a Shirley sitting over there in their corner of their studio, and I'm like, I'm just gonna borrow this while you guys are making my pedal board for me, and I'll bring it back when I get my pedal board. And I never brought it back. So anyways, I did a video about how using scales suck for soloing, right? Scales suck for learning how to solo. That was it. I'll leave the video down below. But everybody on the video was like, dude, what is up with the tone? What pedals were you using? What amp? Blah, blah, blah. Well, it was the Shirley. Just plugs straight in right into the front. And the funny thing is, Friedman amps are known for these ripping high gain amps, which they're, in my opinion, are the freaking best at. But it was like barely even distorted, and everybody loved the tone. And so I had my telly, and I'm like, well, I'll just show you guys what I did. So I run into the aux. Here, let me give you the tone I had. Okay, so the main difference was when I had the Shirley before, I never could turn it up. And so when I brought it over to my house and I had my aux, I'm like, well, what does it sound like when I just turn it on like 8 and the actual volume, right? And I was like, oh my God. It was just like a totally different beast, right? It was amazing. And the only reason I let go of it in the first place was I was doing cover gigs, and I just needed a little bit more flexibility as far as channel switching and stuff. I don't like taking big pedal boards and stuff. I mean, my pedal board that I have has 3 pedals on it, right? And so I prefer just to plug straight into a head for gain and all that kind of stuff. And so it had 2 channels, which is great. But now they make an amp called the Twin Sisters, which is Shirley's with 2 channels and some extra goodies. So yes, I will be getting one of those. But anyways, here is what I did. That's the basic gain structure in the aux. I've got the cab set to I think it's the 412 punch cab they got, which, let me get to my cabs here. Yeah, it's the 412 greenback punch cab. And then the 2 mics I have are the 57 and the Ribbon 160, which is like a Royer 160. It was like the amp they used to mic Hendrix's stuff with. And then I got a little bit of room verb on there without the blanket. And then a little bit of the plate reverb. Okay, so that's really it. Now in that video, I did have some delay going. And I think I had the verb up just a little bit. So let's check it out. Okay, now on the Shirley, if you notice, there's really barely any gain. The gain is set at about 3, which is where I had it. Master is on 8. And I'm not a huge, all my amps are pretty much set somewhere between 4 and 6 on all the controls. So bass is 4, mid is 5, treble's 5, presence is 4. I'm kind of hit and miss with presence. I use that more depending on what kind of a track I'm doing. I'll have more or less, but I usually never typically go above 6 on anything ever. Because, bass, you're gonna roll that off in a track anyways, and if you're playing with a bass player, you get all that stuff. Why fight all the other frequencies? So I find that like right in the middle is awesome. And then there's a little ninja switch under here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it. Is set all the way to the bottom, which I believe is the lowest gain setting. Now it will get gainy, check it out. But there's a weight to the amps when you turn them up. Same thing with my small box, right? When I got the small box, again, the Friedman master volumes are incredible. They sound fantastic down low. But when I got this thing and put with the aux and then turned the master volume up, I was just like, wow, because the power amp, the tube distortion from the actual power amp section, I think a lot of times is really that sound people are looking for. It's really like adds a fullness and a weight to it, where the preamp, it's cool to be able to crank it up and stuff, but I find I turn the master up and I actually use a lot less gain because you just don't need it. The sustain, once those power tubes are cooking, is kind of what you're looking for most of the time, right? So. A little. So, and the sustain. But it's got this weight to the notes, right? Like I said, that is the low. So if I switch this, it just changes the gain structure, right? Oh, maybe that's the lowest gain structure. Right, so here we go. Oh, that's great too. Yeah, you can still hear all the notes. Oh God, that sounds good. All right, then we switch up to the top one. Now, like I said, so like I said, even there on the highest gain setting, which I do use that, right? If I'm gonna do like a, I just had like a full coffee-infused stutter attack. I will use that with humbuckers to get like a real hard rock sound. But honestly, I like the gain now. If I can get the back end going, I like the gain, the actual gain knob, the preamp gain. I like turning it way back because it's still really clear. But I still get all the sustain I need. Sounds good. Let's do a humbucker. So, let me see here. It's probably a lot of tune. My kids, my 2-year-old loves to come up and tune my guitars for me. It's like, all right, so humbucker. Kid in a candy store, I tell you, right? So that's the highest. God, that sounds freaking great. All right, so off we go. Yeah, dude, you could totally rock like a country tune with this one. Right, but I don't know, I didn't even move the knobs, which, you know, I do that. I've done other demos of the Shirleys and stuff like that in the past. So if you want to check that out, by all means, check that out. Just search the main channel for Dirty Shirley. But it is a super flexible amp. And if you saw, just switching that little switch, this little structure, I don't know if the S stands for structure, but that little switch really turns it into a really versatile amp. And now that they have the Twin Sisters, which is like this amp, but it also has another channel, and then it has that really cool thump knob that the BE100s and I think the Jakey Lee and some of the other higher gain amps have as well. And I think the Deluxe 50 has it too, which is a freaking sick amp too. They're all great. But it really makes this amp super appealing now because it has two of the same channels. So I can set them up gain-wise differently, like one lower and one higher. But then in between a song, if you wanted to, you could just flip the gain structure switch, and get, essentially 6 different sounds out of the amp. So I don't know. It's a great freaking amp. The small box is killer too. They're all awesome. The Jakey Lee head is insane. Like for the modded Marshall thing, I don't think anybody, in my opinion, and I've heard a lot of freaking amps, unless you find like the cool holy grail hoo-ha, like 70s modded Marshall. Yeah, some of those are amazing, but they're few and far between. If you want like a really consistent sounding, awesome high gain, Shirley it's pretty amazing. They all are. I mean, just go do yourself a favor, sit in a room with like 10 of them somewhere, find a high-end guitar center if you can go into guitar centers anymore. Or listen to a bunch of clips online and just be like, God, I wish I could really hear one of those. That would be awesome. And check them out. I love them. But anyways, I hope that answers your question. That's what I was running in my last video where everybody was asking me about my tone, and there it was. All right, so make sure if you want to support the channel, go down below to brettpapa.com. We got a killer new subscription course coming out. It's gonna be all brand new. All the courses, tons of new videos. There's gonna be live streams. I'm uploading lots of content to it right now. So if you want and like my instruction, that's the full deep dive down there, and it supports all the videos and all the free content, which would be awesome if you guys want to support everything. And also subscribe to the channel, click the bell, like if you like the videos, and by all means, share the videos as well. You guys are amazing. We'll catch you next time.